Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus a little bit of insight into what it all means. Joining us as always is AMC Movie News Editor-in-Chief, John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California. If only there was something interesting to talk about today.
And also here, AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
I get to talk about the Ultron trailer, and I'm seeing Interstellar with Mary tonight.
And also here, AMC's Christian Harloff.
You brag too much, governor.
Hey, you got a little schmoo show going on, right?
Yeah.
And also here, AMC's Mary Jetikin.
Yeah, I have date night with Matthew McConaughey and Jessica Chastain and Amy Rose. I'm so excited.
Well, Marvel Studios had planned to release the first official Avengers Age of Ultron trailer with next week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, sometimes the internet doesn't cooperate with your plans. A copy of the film was leaked online yesterday and spread like wildfire, prompting Marvel to release the trailer themselves last night. Avengers Age of Ultron opens in AMC theaters on May 1st, 2015. John, what did you think of the Avengers trailer?
Okay, so before I get to the trailer,
Just take a breath.
I can only imagine if he's staying in a hotel somewhere in Hollywood, the producers of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. losing their crap last night. But we'll get to that in a bit. I love the trailer. The imagery in it was fantastic. I'm just going to give some quick thoughts here, and then I'm sure we'll get into the discussion. But the imagery was great. We all knew the voice of James Spader was going to be the right one. We all knew it. I wasn't prepared for how right his voice is. That dude paints with the intonations in his voice. He paints pictures with his voice. I mean, even in that first line he says, when you're all puppets with, first of all, sounding frantic, with strings.
Yeah.
Strings.
I know.
It's like, woo! I probably watched, without exaggeration, I probably watched about 15 to 20 times. So I have some other thoughts on it as well, but I want to get everybody else's first initial. So Amy Rose, let's start with you. Your first thoughts after you saw the trailer.
I was completely blown away. I didn't think my excitement could raise it even further for the sequel, and it has. I mean, the Pinocchio, I have no strings, slow mode over it, and the introduction of the twins, and Andy Serkis, and the Hulkbuster armor, and oh my God. And it was so much darker, and with the sequel with Joss Whedon back, you knew the stakes were going to be raised, and it's just they just captured. I got chills. I have chills now. It's just it really is just so beautifully shot, and it looks like the character moments, and you see Thor holding up Tony, and that's brewing, and it's just everything. I watched it only 10 times. I'm sorry, but I was completely blown away. This is like a film in a trailer. It's just so artistically woven together, and I literally am freaking out with joy.
So today's show was originally going to have 3 people on it, and then 10 minutes after the trailer dropped, I get this text from Christian last night. I want to be on the show tomorrow. Okay, come on in. So Christian, your thoughts on the trailer?
I will start by quoting another movie. Everything is awesome. I was watching. I did text John. I go, dude, I have to be on. I have to talk about Ultron. It looks so amazing, and we all are expecting this trailer. And from what we've been hearing from people who have heard things about it, that it's gearing up to be a darker movie. Yeah. The rumors that we just heard about the supposed Civil War storyline, it certainly seems it's going that way. Even in this small portion that we've got in this trailer with Tony saying it looks like it's all coming ahead and nothing can last forever, and the Hulkbuster against the Hulk, and then a tease of the Black Panther with Andy Serkis. There's all these cool things happening, but I loved the Pinocchio thing, minus, thank God the Blue Fairy was nowhere to be seen. But when you're watching this and this whole theme of got no strings, so it's just playing, and it's Ultron is going to be a force. We knew it.
Finally.
Now we see it. This is going to be someone they're going to have to battle. And then in Avengers 3, they have to battle Thanos. Oh my God, this trailer's the best. It's the best.
Mary, what were your initial impressions?
Well, once I had scooped up all the brain matter that had come out of my ears and put it back into my head, this trailer blew me away, and it blew me away for all the reasons you guys are mentioning, but also because it did what I think a perfect trailer should do, which is hint at the character arcs and the storyline and the world and the global scope of this film, because it's all over the world. And like you're saying, the darkness and the hopelessness that you feel. This is the end of phase 2, this movie. So I think you really feel that. But it doesn't give away the farm. It doesn't tell you everything. It kind of drops little hints, and like you said, it weaves everything together. And I also was blown away by the sound and the way they, like you said, his voice is like this beautiful painting, and it was such a good way to put it. But it's also the little girl singing, and then how her song and his voice kind of come together when he says, "I'm free," and there's it's so. I can't even talk about it. I like get goosebumps, and I need to go like be in a corner by myself.
And how about on their Twitter handle when they wrote, "Damn it, Hydra," which is so smart.
I wanted to
So
get
clever.
to that. You can't talk about the trailer without talking about the circumstances in which it came out. Because remember, of course, we talked about it yesterday. Marvel had announced they were going to release this trailer with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next week in an attempt to try to get some ratings back for that show. And it was a genius plan. So much for the plan. And there are two things that Marvel could have done. And this is why I am continuously floored, not just with Kevin Feige, but even Kevin Feige's bosses, about how really smart the people at Marvel are. A lot of studios could have tried to go into lockdown mode. Because once that trailer leaked, remember, in case you didn't know, before Marvel released the trailer, it was leaked a few hours ahead first. But once it leaked, it was everywhere. Some other studios might have, okay, get everybody in the legal departments together, start going after everything, try to get this shut down, blah, blah, blah. But Marvel sat back and went, we lost this one. We lost this fight, so let's just take advantage of it. They put out this hilarious tweet.
Brilliant.
That said, damn it, Hydra. I mean,
All hail.
they owned it. They took a defeat, and they owned it.
And they turned it into a victory.
Turned it into a huge win.
Because when they did that, by releasing it, and you get all the traffic that everybody's talking about it already too, and then you're like, instead of waiting, now let's get the traffic for us. Where obviously everyone's passing it around. Get rid of the leaked ones. No one's going to care about the worst quality ones.
Exactly.
And the HD.
Let's give them the HD one. Release it now.
That's a great point. And because that's the thing, even if they tried to fight it, millions of people are going to see it. And if you're Marvel, do you want them to see this low-quality, crappy version? No, let's get them the real stuff. And did you notice, too, in the crappy, low-quality version, it said, coming in April. And I'm like, wait, April? Rewind. Coming in April. What? And then when they launched the official one, it's coming in May. So I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know what the deal with that was.
Maybe it's an international one.
Might have been an international
one.
But they were the exact, otherwise they're the exact same trailer.
I would assume it was an international leak.
Can we also talk about the beauty and the symmetry of how they tie in drama and action in the trailer and what a challenge that is? Because you see how broken down they are when they're all like defeated and sitting around, and every picture's like a painting. There's ballet in this trailer. I was like, thank you.
And what I thought they did well,
Such a cultural
because
hit.
you know you're going to get humor in this movie. You have to. It's the Avengers. But I thought it was smart that the first official trailer that you see is painting the bleak first. Because overall, that's the kind of tone you're going to get coming out of this movie. But I don't think anybody should worry that this is going to be a dark, dreary movie as far as throughout the whole thing, because we want to see the Avengers going back and forth. Because even the clip that they showed at Comic-Con supposedly was before that scene where Ultron comes out. They're all goofing around with each other. So we're going to see that. I don't think anybody should be concerned that that's not going to be there, because that is part of the reasons what made the first Avengers so special was the camaraderie and the fun and the chemistry.
They set it up in the first one, and now we're going to really see how they use it in a time of crisis. It kind of made me think of Empire Strikes Back in the way it's like the middle of the story, and it's super dark, and Iron Man's like, it's my fault. Like Tony Stark's basically saying it's my fault.
That leads me to my criticism about the trailer.
And was it long enough?
Despite the fact that it could have stood to be another
20 minutes,
50 minutes long.
2 hours,
maybe a couple hours.
No, my one criticism. Remember, I ate it up. I sat down, I watched this thing over and over and over again. Watched it again this morning. Watched it over and over again. My one criticism could be this, though. I can't help but wonder, and I'm saying wonder because my experience with the trailer was great. I can't help but wonder if they went a little too heavy. I mean, because this is a very heavy trailer. There's not. This morning, I specifically watched it again to watch for this one thing. Is there any smiles in this trailer? One, is there a single smile in this trailer other than Ultron himself? Which, and that's the other thing. Why does Ultron have teeth? Anyway. He's got human teeth. He says, if he's pausing, there are no strings on me. He's got Optimus Prime teeth.
Exactly.
Which, when it's on Optimus Prime, everybody will trash it as stupid, but it's on Ultron, so everybody's gonna say it's awesome. Anyway, that was just a little thing. But I did notice that it was so heavy. And one of the marquee things for me about Avengers is, and what makes it so distinct from, say, like the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, is that sense of fun. It is one of the most fun films. Even when the world's in peril, even when there's a lot going on, they can still find a way to make it fun, a little bit like the camaraderie. And I felt like the trailer was one paintbrush. And I felt they could have touched it up a bit more. But I'm arguing devil's advocate stuff here because for me, I loved it.
I could see you in your eyes. You're like, well, but I still loved it.
But I think that was strategic. I really do.
I agree. I think it was too.
And I think you're going to get some more humor in the second trailer. And I agree with Miri. What I liked about this, because the first Avengers, the thing that for the first Avengers trailers that I couldn't stand was a shot of Hulk saving Iron Man. It gave away the end. Don't do that this time. You don't need it. Everyone's going to see it. What they did, the way they keep doing trailers like this, and even if it's like a lighter. Just give us stuff that's going to be fun, give us some moments, but don't give away the movie.
Yeah, and we know we're going to get that comedy. That's what Marvel has done so brilliantly well, not like forcing it on us, but it was just epic, and it's just showing us again, just like what we're in for. It painted that, and I feel like they're going to take a different tonal shift with the next trailer maybe and show us a little more, but we know those character moments are coming. So this is definitely what I wanted to see to just make my heart flutter.
To me, it felt like if I was going to give a Christmas, I felt like this would have been an awesome second trailer.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. And I can feel it in the force that a million fanboys crying out in terror that I dare said anything that might be a remote criticism about the Avengers trailer. How dare you? But I mean, I loved it. I just feel like maybe it could have been a little bit more well-rounded because I remember I was talking to a couple people online last night who aren't necessarily Avengers fans. And one of them has seen Avengers, one of them has not. And watching them, and one of them was back home in Canada, and talking to them online and saying, I don't know, I'm just depressed watching that trailer. It's like, okay, if you're not plugged in, if you're somebody who's not already plugged into the Avengers and Marvel world, does that trailer suddenly make you go, I want to go see this movie?
I think so.
Well, for some people it did not. The people I talked to, it did not. But for the vast majority of us who are already plugged into this Marvel world, and we understand this Marvel world, and that's the majority of us, let's face it. You're damn right it made us more excited about seeing it.
And it's beautiful. It was a beautifully shot trailer.
Yeah.
So beyond just the intensity, some people see movies because they want joy in their lives.
Right.
I see it for the experience, and we are in for one hell of an experience from this one.
Speaking of experience, it was very cool to see Andy Serkis pop up in there because there was rumors of what he was going to do.
But awkward too.
Awkward.
It's like, all of a sudden Andy Serkis.
I think it was a nice, I think it was, again, Marvel saying, hey, by the way, that might be Ulysses Claw, Black Panther, that's what we're saying. Compare those pictures. Ulysses Claw and Andy Serkis from that shot. Compare them and see what you think.
He did actually before we started recording. He was like, "Look, it's amazing."
Well, I mean, it would make sense because I mean, they have. Okay, I use the word "have to," and they don't have to, but it would seem to stand to reason that one of the elements of this film has to be in the comic books. One of the things that makes Ultron so dangerous is that he's made out of adamantium. Which is the most indestructible thing in the Marvel Universe. However, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they cannot use adamantium. That's a Fox thing. That's a Wolverine thing. So I believe they're going to be. I believe they're going to be saying he's made out of vibranium, which is the same stuff that's Captain America's shield is made out of. So, and that of course comes from Wakanda.
Yeah.
In the comic books, at any rate, that doesn't just because it's in the comic book, that doesn't mean that that's the way they're going to follow it in the movie. But it stands to reason that they probably will.
I think so.
So. It would make sense that they start opening doors for us in this movie to introduce a wider world, and that would eventually lead to a Black Panther.
Of course they're going to. That's the Marvel way. They keep throwing in every single film. We heard Stephen Strange and Cap. We heard, they keep expanding their universe slowly before our eyes, and I feel like he's the perfect character to introduce here.
The most iconic shot for me, though, and I've talked to a few people online, and that's one of the cool things about this trailer is that you talk to 20 different people, there's going to be 18 different answers to this question about what do you think was the most iconic shot of this trailer? Because this is a trailer filled with iconic shots. For me, and I know this is kind of depressing, but for me is that slow pan down with just the hand and the broken Captain America. That image for me captures the whole trailer. I mean, but what are some of the other really cool shots?
Hulk throwing the car into the Hulkbuster, for sure.
Yeah, the Hulkbuster thing, but also just Thor
grabbing.
Yeah, also coming up and not obviously shirtless. Sorry, but
And Ultron saying that and watching them all you could see fear in their eyes staring at him when he was
when Ultron is kind of like in front of them, and they just look so scared and so defeated, and he's saying the line with the strings.
I have
That's
no
the shot.
I have
strings.
no strings. That's.
His
I like
eyes are
the
glowing.
evolution of Ultron, even in this
Yes.
trailer,
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
see him as he's forming himself. I think that for me, the most iconic shot of the whole trailer is him when he says the line
Yeah.
At the end.
No strings on me.
No strings
No
on
strings
me.
on me,
Yeah.
and you see him. He looks like he's got the formed helmet and everything, and it's just like, yeah, I
Force
think I'm
be
gonna
reckoned
move. I don't want to be in this city
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, it could just be the voice, and it would still. That voice is so amazing. We go back to the voice.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about Scarlet Witch and.
Yeah, well, I saw the
Not
twins.
much,
I'm
not
excited.
much to talk about them.
No.
She looks epic, though. I mean,
She looks
Quicksilver, we
great.
saw one quick little tidbit, but she is.
But
is
I
a
like
little
the
more
fact that
engaged.
they show you that they are significant and that they matter, but they're not. Like, we don't know yet
Well,
what their deal is.
here's the totality of Aaron Taylor Johnson in the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer.
Yeah, well, and Godzilla.
And
And the two separate.
Well, and he runs past at lightning speed in a moment.
yeah, so there was that too. I cannot.
Could talk about this for an hour.
We could.
Do a whole
I
show.
cannot wait to watch this damn movie. Okay, the trailer should have been 45 minutes longer. Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay. Although the trailer for the upcoming film Into the Woods seemed to keep the appearance of Johnny Depp's big bad wolf a secret by only showing his hand for a moment, Entertainment Weekly is now featuring a cover with Depp, giving us our first glimpse at his new look in the film. Into the Woods is a modern twist on the beloved Brothers Grimm fairy tales, intertwining the plots of a few choice stories and exploring the consequences of the characters' wishes and quests. This humorous and heartfelt musical follows the classic tales of Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, and Rapunzel, all tied together by an original story involving a baker and his wife, their wish to begin a family, and their interaction with the witch who has put a curse on them. Into the Woods opens in AMC theaters on Christmas Day. Amy Rose, what do you think of Johnny Depp's look?
I love it. Into the Woods has such incredible music, and the story is so inventive. I've seen it on Broadway. I grew up like singing these songs. It's just so good. All the different stories woven together, the untold story. They did that with Maleficent, but they changed it. This is just like beyond the surface, like what's really happening. And I feel like, you know, we talk about Johnny Depp leaving the dramatic roles and doing more of these colorful vestments. And with this, the wolf is such a great character in this. I think he's perfect. We know he can sing from Sweeney Todd. So I love this property. I love the music, and I think he's going to do great justice. And I think it's cool. He's got cool blue tones to him. So I support this.
Yeah.
Depp.
I don't know that much about Into the Woods because I did not grow up on it. I actually don't like the look of Johnny Depp. I don't know if it's close to what it looked like on Broadway. I just feel like the whole Tex Avery like zoot suit thing, and it sort of looks like a Halloween costume. It's not working for me. It doesn't mean I don't want to see the movie. I'm still looking forward to it. I just saw those pictures and I was like,
Christian?
no.
Yeah, I don't love it. Only because I think it's more that because I want to see him go back to stuff like Donnie Brasco. And I want to see him do more stuff. So it's 5-10 years ago, I might have liked the looks. I'm like, oh, him playing this kind of character is cool, but it just looks like another strange character. I might love it.
We're getting
but right
Whitey
now-
Bulger, you know?
I know, but I want to see that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
You know
me
what he should
too.
do? He should do like a dramatic thing where like his consciousness gets taken into a computer. Oh wait, that didn't work so well.
Oh, John.
I gotta tell you, I have still failed to be. They have failed to make me interested in this film.
It's
yet.
so good,
I
though.
haven't. You haven't seen it.
The music
Okay,
is enough.
no,
I know you're
no,
not a big music head, but I am.
But,
I'm open to it.
Yeah.
But so far, I haven't been enthralled with it because when I first heard the concept, I was really interested. But the trailer hasn't done it for me. And then they were kind of keeping Johnny Depp's, appearance a secret with that, just the hand on the tree. But I gotta tell you, the zoot suit's working for me. I don't know why. Because I am like you. I'm sick of Johnny Depp
Yeah,
playing the.
we all
I'm
are.
the Mad Hatter. I'm Edward Scissorhands. I'm now the Big Bad Wolf. But I have got nothing else to base this on except I think he looks pretty damn cool.
Well, he
in the
would look
outfit.
cool in like a bed sheet.
Well, this is
You know?
true. This
Meryl
is true.
Streep, Chris Pine, Anna
Yes.
Kendrick, Johnny
The
Depp.
cast
Come
is
on. This movie's going to be great.
Most women would think you look cool in a bedsheet, by the way.
All right, folks, let's move
Not
on
gonna
to
hear a fight from me.
the next thing. It's time for buy or sell. Here's how this works. In front of her, Ashley's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down. Then those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Ashley, what do we got?
In a recent interview, X-Men's second unit director Brian Smers seemed to confirm that Evan Peters' Quicksilver will indeed be in X-Men Apocalypse, hitting AMC theaters on May 27, 2016. Smers said the following: They want me to start pretty soon on the storyboarding and stuff. I'll be working on the next X-Men for the next month or so part-time, and by the end of the year, it'll be full-time. There will be another Quicksilver scene, which I'm looking forward to. Christian, buy or sell Quicksilver appearing in X-Men Apocalypse?
Duh. Big buy. This guy was like, he stole the scenes, and I was very nervous about him going, except for all those Carl's Jr. ads and everything that was coming up, but he was great. I can't wait to see him. I think everyone knew he was going to be in it. I hope it's more than just the scene. I want to see him do a lot more stuff. I want to learn more about him. I want to see what they do with the Magneto storyline. Yeah, huge buy. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. We said on the show before, our first unfortunate impressions of him were all just the still images where he looked like a 70s Daft Punk reject, and I got it. But then suddenly once you saw it in the movie, we saw it in context, and it kind of worked. And you're right, that scene, like, he stole the scene, and then that scene stole the movie, kind of, in many ways. That's the one where everybody was kind of talking about when we came out of it. And I do want to see him in the next one. No big surprise there, but it's interesting to hear him say, we're working on another scene. So I think he'll be in more than one scene, but I think we're going to have a Quicksilver feature scene again, which I'm looking forward to, Amy Rose.
I mean, yeah, buy, enthusiastic buy. Yeah, when he first came out, I was like, oh God, you're going to kill this character, but they didn't. It was every scene he was in, I wanted more, and it will be very interesting to see Aaron Taylor Johnson's take on Quicksilver now that we know he literally was so incredible. And whoa, Daft Punk reject? Nothing about Daft Punk rejects, mister.
I wasn't saying anything bad about Daft Punk.
That means you couldn't get into the band. Yeah,
and it is interesting how the narrative changed so fast, because just before X-Men Days of Future Past came out, the narrative was, well, X-Men's Quicksilver is going to be crap compared to Aaron Taylor Johnson. So. And then suddenly the narrative changed to, man, you think they can live up to this Quicksilver?
Right.
It's really cool.
What's funny is I am a fan of American Horror Story, and he was always one of the weaker links to me on the show, and then I saw X-Men, and I was like, oh, I would just want a standalone Quicksilver movie now. Like, I loved that scene so much. I'm really excited that he's going to be in Apocalypse, but I'm not surprised. That's a total buy.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
According to reports, actress Margot Robbie is in talks to star alongside Tina Fey in the upcoming film The Taliban Shuffle, based on the true story memoirs of journalist Kim Baker's time in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Mary, would you buy or sell Margot Robbie in The Taliban Shuffle?
I buy this. I buy anything Margot Robbie does at this point, because she won my heart in Wolf of Wall Street, and she proved that she could do much more than just look good on camera. She's a wonderful actress. What's interesting is she's in this film Focus with Will Smith. It's coming out next year. It's the same directors as this. So I know that they're in talks, but I also know she's in talks now to do Suicide Squad. So whether or not she does it is not confirmed yet, but I think I'd like to see her in all of the above, because I'm curious to see how she handles comedy and drama.
Christian?
She's been in talks for this since August, so I'm curious to now that it's coming out even more, she's going to do it. Yeah, same thing. I liked her even About Time. That's the one she was in too.
Yeah.
She's won me over. She's really she's an up-and-comer. I want to see more what she does, so I'm on board.
I am on board with it. I'm not totally on the Margot Robbie train yet. I loved her in Wolf of Wall Street, but that's only been my real full exposure to her. I try to forget everything about Time. I try to just forget everything.
Like it?
No, not really. Which is unfortunate. But and the project itself to me sounds fascinating. Taking some heavy, serious topics, bringing in somebody with the comedic sensibilities of a Tina Fey to run the ship, then bringing something like this on board. I'm fascinated by this movie right now. Amy Rose?
I am as well. I mean, Margot Robbie is definitely the it girl right now. Her name's being tossed in so much. If she locks in Harley Quinn and this, it will really continue to show her diversity and her range. So yeah, I'm on board. And anything that Tina Fey touches, I'm usually in for, because she is literally a triple threat. She can do it all. So I think that would be a really interesting pairing, and I want to see more out of her, because I've been impressed in both of her films that I've seen so far.
All right, what's next?
As many of you may remember, director Adam McKay almost helmed the new AntMan movie and rewrote the script for the film before stepping away from the director's chair. However, according to a recent interview he did with Crave, McKay still seems quite interested in doing a Marvel film. He said the following: I had such a great time working with them that we're kicking around ideas, but yeah, maybe I would take on one of the characters. We haven't locked in anything, but discussions are definitely going on. John, would you buy or sell an Adam McKay directed Marvel film?
At first I really wasn't all that interested in him directing Ant-Man when all the word started spreading around that he was going to do Ant-Man, blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason I wasn't. But I don't know why I wasn't. I mean, this guy's directed 2 of my top 10 all-time favorite comedies in Anchorman and Step Brothers. I love Step Brothers so much. He did the other guys, whatever.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, you know what? Especially, let's see how Ant-Man turns out. Because he did the rewrite of the script, you had a bit of a comedic director, well, very much a comedic director doing that one right now. And if they can really still find a way to make that work, if Ant-Man turns out well and that kind of formula works, yeah, I think I'd be on board for it. Make it a buy for me.
Yeah, I'd buy it as well. I would have been more excited, McKay, than Peyton, to be honest. But we'll see. I still have faith in Marvel. They touch. But yeah, I think that all those comedies also have those tender moments and also, more dramatic moments as well to kind of build up to the comedy. And that's kind of what Marvel has become these days. It's laced with humor as well as those moments. So I think he would be. And he's got very sharp, witty dialogue. And I mean, that's what I want in a Marvel property. So I think he could do it.
Yeah, I'll buy it because, it's going to sound crazy, but Anthony and Joe Russo didn't have a lot of experience when they signed on to Cap 2, and a lot of people were doubtful and kind of wondering if they could pull it off, and they did amazingly well. Yeah. So I'd like to give, who knows? He hasn't signed on to anything officially, but I'd like to think that if Marvel does sign him up to something, it's because they have faith in his ability. And also, he's worked within their infrastructure before, because he worked on Ant-Man, so he's a little bit more aware of how the inner workings of the studio operate, and I think that might help him in actually helming a film.
Christian?
I buy it as well, too. My opinion on this movie has changed dramatically, and I actually do think Peyton Reed is the right guy to direct the movie in general. As far as Adam McKay, I think that what they've done now and him being involved in this, too, he really knows the way the structure of Marvel works, too. So I think that they know it. And when he was first originally rumored and stuff, I'm going, oh, this is going to be Anchorman for Marvel movies, and that's silly. And I was silly when I was thinking it, too, because you're in that world, you're in that structure, you're in that machine, you know how it works. If they trust you, then you know you're in the right place to be, and he'll develop the character that's right for him if he decides to do it.
And if they don't trust you, you're not going to stay there.
Right.
So we know that too.
Right. All right, folks, we reached that part of the show for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Now, normally we save a couple of minutes at the end of the show to take some of your live Twitter questions, but we spent a little bit of time talking about that damn trailer, so I don't think we're going to have time for that today, but we are going to get to your mailbag questions. So, Ashley, what do we got pulled out?
Adam Serdorius writes, hey guys, love the show. I watch every day. My question is, what is your stance on the debate between film and digital? Film is a form of art and should not be lost. I was just curious as to hear which one you guys prefer. Thanks.
Once again, I'll play the uncool kid and take the totally unpopular thing about what you're supposed to say. I don't give a crap about film. Don't give a crap about film. The digital technology's come so far. I've been on sets where they've shot with film. I've been on sets where they shot digitally. You want to be on the set where they're shooting digitally. And now it's so gorgeous and beautiful now what they can do. But look, I'm not taking away, just because I feel that way, I'm not taking anything away from the people who still feel that love and affection for film. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel that way whatsoever. But if you're going to ask me what my personal opinion of it is, I could care less if film disappeared tomorrow. I really, as long as we saved all the films first. As long as we save all the movies first. Hey, God bless Quentin Tarantino for having a love for it and wanting to have his film-only movies theater. I think there's a place for that. I think I celebrate that people who have a love for it have a place to go and celebrate that kind of stuff. And a lot of these filmmakers grew up working with film. That's how they learn. That's where they're comfortable. They've got an affection with it. They feel they work best with it. More power to you. But I don't care. Anyway.
I think that digital has come such a far way advanced into where you sometimes can't even tell the way from how it looks. But I am a film guy. I'm so happy that Star Wars is shooting in film again too. There's something about it that it makes it more of a movie experience for me. I know, like you just said too. That's not everybody. That's me. So I would like them to still keep film and still advance digital because they can do some really cool things with digital, and they have. So I'm kind of in the middle.
I am too. I feel like it really depends on the project. I feel this way about vinyl versus digital as well because I have a really amazing vinyl collection, and there's something about when you play that album, it just fills the room with this warmth that you don't get on your iPod. You just don't. And I feel that way about film and digital as well in that space because certain filmmakers, Paul Thomas Anderson, Quentin Tarantino, there is something magical about shooting on film. And then you can feel that as an audience member. But not all films need that. Some, there really are. I mean, we've come so far with digital as well. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. I do think, I'm really excited Star Wars shooting that way as well, but I do think it's a case-by-case basis, but I don't want it to be a lost form because there's something magical about it still to me.
Yeah, some filmmakers have gone on record to say that James Cameron said, my relationship with film ended years ago because there were things he just couldn't do in the medium of film. So I do agree that digital is kind of taking filmmakers into new areas. I am totally on the fence about this. There's a great documentary that Keanu Reeves produced called Side by Side, and it actually talks to some of the best directors in the world about their opinion on this exact topic, and it's fascinating. I highly recommend it. It's really well done, and he talks to Scorsese and Christopher Nolan and everybody you care about, everybody you love, and it's really interesting to hear all the different filmmakers weighing in on the different things. And really what I gleaned from it, and my opinion is, as much as I love film, and I think there will always be a place for it, just like there's always a place for vinyl, I do think that digital is just going to take over because the process is too expensive, it's prohibitive. Digital media democratizes creation because it enables people that don't have access to film to create. So there's something to be said for that, for the digital.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're down to one company left that even produces film stock.
Yeah, I think it's like one or two. It's like really... And in LA specifically, to process it is super expensive. It's getting actually harder to do. So I think it is kind of falling into the hands of the greats who can afford it and who can demand it.
So if you are somebody who really does value and appreciate and have an affection for film, make sure you do what you can to support it then.
Absolutely.
For that type of stuff, if that's something that appeals to you. All right, what's next?
Karoon writes, hello AMC, love the show, watch it every day. I love the movie Las Vegas, even though I've heard from many about how they disliked it. I want to know if there will be a Las Vegas 2.
You know what? I have heard nothing, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I know for a fact these guys loved working together.
You can tell.
You really can. And I got to talk to each one of them, and they
what
actually
a room to sit in.
Yeah. They were all four of them together.
Yeah.
Not the best movie I've ever covered in my life, but my favorite. I got to sit in a room with four of them at once.
Legends.
And this was, of course, the legendary thing where I left Robert De Niro hanging. But you can look that up online. Anyway, they had a lot of fun doing it. They made the damn movie for $23 million. It made, I think, around 163, so it was profitable. Yeah. I thought the movie was great. I was a little taken, every once in a while you love a movie, but you can go, yeah, I can see why some people won't like it. I was actually really shocked to find out that as many people didn't like it as they did, because I walked out of it going, this was great. So considering how much they enjoyed doing it, they're not all super busy. Morgan Freeman seems to do anything you offer him, and it's making money.
Listen, if Morgan Freeman wears that jacket again in the sequel, I'm in. Yeah. That jacket
the
alone.
Fanny pack.
Yeah, the whole thing.
If you haven't seen Las Vegas, I'm dead serious. Make sure you watch it.
It's fun, and especially if you catch it on cable or something too. I'd like to see them do it again because I'd like to see where, like you said, they had a lot of fun working together. You could tell, and it seems like Morgan Freeman always commits everything he does, even when he's in Dolphin Tale or whatever he does. But he seems like but he commits. He commits to it, but he legitimately seems like he's having fun in this one. Like you can tell everyone's having fun. So I'd like to see them come back and do it. I was also pleasantly surprised.
It was fun. I'm not waiting for it, but I would see it again because they're Hollywood royalty. Look at those four together, and especially Kevin Kline. He doesn't do a lot of films anymore, and I just want to give him a hug.
Don't call me stupid. That's what I always think of.
Don't call me stupid.
They named their daughter after a car.
And it's a movie you'll really appreciate doubly so if you've been to Vegas. If you've ever, and I go to Vegas like 5 or 6 times a year. I go to Vegas, and Vegas becomes a character in the film. So Anyway, we've gone way over time. Time to end this episode of AMC Movie Talk. Thank you so much for joining us today. Listen, don't forget. Lots of great films playing in AMC theaters right now. Going on over to www.amctheaters.com for your theater, showtime, and of course your movie ticket information. If you want an audio-only version of this episode, make sure you look in the description below, and you'll find a link to our podcast feed so you can listen to us on the way to work or while you're at the gym, wherever you are. And also don't forget to click that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to thank the people sitting at the table with me. First of all, sitting to my left, she is the senior editor of Movie News here on AMC Movie Talk. Also the host of AMC Indie Spotlight, which you should check out. Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach. Amy Rose, where can people find you online?
I got a promotion at Amy Rosie on Twitter and Instagram, and thanks for all your support. Yeah, that new episode is up. We have Sam Rockwell on the show. A lot of good things for you. Thanks for your support.
Sitting to my right, Mr. Christian Harloff. Christian, where can people find you?
I will be avoiding the Blue Fairy and talking about Ultron over on @Christian Harloff, and also posting pictures, I'm sure, about more Ultron stuff at Christian Harloff.
And of course, Miss Miri Jedikin. Miri, where can people find you?
You can find me at the Interstellar screening tonight with Rosie, but you can also find me at Miri the Jedi on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me on the various social media networks, just at John Campea. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name is John Campea for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.